I don't know if you want me to talk about how Stargate came in.
Rob, how did Stargate come in?
Yeah,
That was my next question. Because we're around that time frame. So season 4 is 2000.
yeah. So I had just to make ends meet here and there. I'd still would do the odd a little bit of background work. So I had being around the Stargate set, doing some background work. I think that's why when you look at on imdb.com, it says 8 episodes, whereas only
I
did
see.
6.
Yeah,
I think
scientist in Torment of Tantalus, scientist in the Fifth Race, and yeah, then in season 4 you were Pierce. Okay, I did not know that. Okay,
I think that was probably whoever rounds up all this info. It was just I was just doing some background work, but I was actually doing some background work on the show when I'd got my. You're always getting calls from your agent finding out if you got a role or not. And I remember being at Stargate and it was lunch break, and I got a phone call from my agent, and I had landed my first guest starring role on a show. It was the show Dead Man's Gun, and I was like flabbergasted. Oh my goodness, a guest starring role, and it just gave me so much confidence, landing that role. It's like I guess I'm doing something right,
right.
and I just continued with my auditions, and I auditioned for a role, and it was the first ones
That's right.
in 2000,
Hmm.
I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I auditioned for a role. If you watch the episode too, you can see when my character Pierce, when I come out of the woods at one point in time, and I have a soldier with me, and I say, "Hey, this guy's just wandering around the woods, and he's kind of um, he's out of his mind, doesn't know." I had auditioned for that role
I see.
of that soldier.
Anyone with a snake in their head, raise your hand.
Yeah, I
Wow.
auditioned for that role, which was just a few lines in that one episode. And I remember getting the phone call from my agent the next day, and she goes, "You didn't get that role." And as usual, I'm disappointed. She goes, "But Peter DeLuise really liked you."
Peter DeLuise.
And I go, "Oh, great." And he's written in a new character for you for that episode.
That's right. It's his show.
I go, "Wow." And she goes, "And the great thing is, you got to think back in those days too, like you're starving actors. What you're really looking for is the amount of days work."
Right.
So she says, "But this is great because you're on every day." And I go, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, 7 days. 7 days you're booked, and you're playing this." It's actually at that point in time, I think it was just Corporal Pierce, and Peter wrote in
Colonel
this role
or Major. He was Major. He was a Major at this point.
At that point. I don't know. I remember on the script.
It may have been, but you were. Your ranks are listed as formerly Major and then later Colonel. So I suspect that it's correct.
Yeah, that's on IMDb, but I don't know because I remember one episode being a corporal, one being captain.
Really? Okay.
It's
All right.
kept sort of.
I'll have
and
to
I
go
wasn't
check.
actually a full colonel. I believe when I did the end game, I think I was lieutenant colonel. But anyways,
Yeah.
but yeah, he had written in this role, and I was supposed to be kind of Richard Dean Anderson's right hand man. Hey Pierce, go do this, go do that, and it was great, man. It was there's such a great crew there. I'm telling you, and the cast and crew. There's so like I've done some acting, and sometimes it can be kind of a harsh atmosphere. Not everyone's super friendly, and you kind of go in, do your job. But man, these guys were so inviting and encouraging, and man, it was just a great time. And I'll tell you, there was a moment, and it's funny, any actor who says who doesn't admit this to you is lying. That actors, they're very sensitive.
Of course.
They're always question. I know some of the guys that I know that have had their own TV series and whatnot, that they can be very sensitive and very fragile. The ego, am I doing good? Like, is this okay? Is that? So we, from anyone that we respect, any comments, any encouragement is taken very, very well. I mean, we need that build, someone to lift us up. So I remember we were changing sets out in the woods in this first episode, the first ones. And I was, so that we had a little bit of a break, and I'm walking down this pathway. And I'll never forget this. This is like a little video playing in my head I can remember from, 25 years ago. I remember walking down this pathway, and I hear these footsteps running up behind me. And it's Richard Dean Anderson. And there's no one else in the woods, just me and him. And he goes, "Hey, Rob." And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Hey, I just want to tell you, I saw your audition tape. And man, it was so great." And "Oh, thanks." And then he takes off. And I don't know, little does he know that I'm floating, I'm floating off the ground. "Wow, you loved my tape."
MacGyver loved your tape.
MacGyver loved my tape. But so I don't know. I mean, if these guys know how much it means to some of these actors, or maybe they do, and they do that just to encourage you and make the job go, smoother for you.
Do you remember anything about Peter DeLuise's directing?
Yeah, he was. I remember thinking, this guy is brilliant, because I've been on shows and that are a little bit mixed up, and guys aren't 100% sure what they're doing, or their direction isn't as clear. But man, he was so clear. I remember this one fight scene that was happening that really clinched it for me, that man, this guy knows what he's doing. And it was it was one of those scenes where there was multiple people, and there was going to be one of these invisible aliens.
We're talking Allegiance, yes, in season 6, 2002. Yep.
Yeah, coming through the crowd and killing various people.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, like, how are they gonna film this? How is it gonna work? There's all these extras, and there's a couple main actors, and this thing's supposed to be coming through, killing people, and I thought, and I even talked to a couple of the stunt guys. How's it gonna work? And they go, "I don't know. We'll see what he decides." And he shows up on set, and he just walks up and he goes, "Hey," to the stunt guys, "have you guys decided who's dying and who isn't?" They go, "Yeah, this guy, this guy." And he walks up to them and he puts them in various parts of the crowd. He goes, "Okay, when I yell your name, you fall and die. When I yell your name, you fall. And when I yell your," and he goes, "Okay." And he just had it laid out so clearly. And he had these numbers. When I go 1, 2, 3, and I want you guys moving around. And he had the guy in the green suit just run through, and it happened so quick. They shot it, and it was just like, "Okay, let's run it through." And I was like, "Here we go. Here he comes. Oh, 1, 2, 3," and all this action starts happening. And if you watch the finished product, it's wonderful. But he was so clear. Like, everyone knew exactly what he wanted to do.
Thanks for watching this clip from Dial the Gate. You can find the full live stream shows on our YouTube channel, or visit dialthegate.com for the complete schedule. See you on the other side.